Enemy infantry is digging into the front in the Zaporizhzhia direction. Russian generals have given the order to launch assaults. The soldiers are desperately trying to break through into the meat grinder at the front, but run into our fire. Artillery systems emerge and strike mercilessly. The screams of the Russians at this moment can be heard for dozens of kilometers. They are afraid to report this failure to Putin. What is happening right now on the front line, and at what cost is the advantage over the enemy being gained? We'll tell you about it in just a moment.
Rocket. They're launching rockets.
Is that a red rocket?
Yeah. Red rockets over the line of engagement between Kamyansky and Nestoryanka, south of Zaporizhzhia, light up the sky every night now.
It comes in waves. Sometimes there's an escalation. Sometimes they come at us. Sometimes, well, into our area of responsibility. And sometimes they go after our neighbors.
Before massive assaults, the artillerymen of the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade say the Russians usually don't start with signal flares.
It depends. Sometimes with artillery preparation, sometimes not.
And almost every time, enemy attacks are preceded by powerful remote airstrikes with guided aerial bombs.
It was like that before, and it still is now. Basically, nothing has really changed. It's just the range. They sometimes hit from farther away, sometimes from closer.
Just a few minutes had passed when Alizy Strayomny and Boda, along with the entire crew of the 2S-1 self-propelled howitzer from the 128th Mountain Assault Brigade, left their vehicle. They waited inside, ready for action in case of a Russian attack. This wasn't the first time. Just tonight alone.
Well, this is the second time. The second time tonight, sometimes it's more, sometimes less. It depends.
Their 122mm self-propelled gun now resembles more of a stationary howitzer, admits the driver mechanic of the Gvozdika.
We're just sitting here, well, on a mission, basically like regular artillery.
He was taught, Strayomny says, to do everything possible so that the Zakarpattia artillery unit could reach its position as quickly as possible on its own and just as quickly leave the firing position. But maneuvering through the steppes of Zaporizhzhia, the driver admits, is now an unaffordable luxury.
A lot of things are flying around.
Shells or
drones, hangars, so we don't get burned, because this way it's safer and we'll be able to fire from our positions for longer.
To fire, says the commander of the 128th self-propelled crew, most often now we have to fire at enemy infantry advancing to the north or at the fire support positions covering the occupiers' infantry.
Ours is considered relatively small in scale, so it primarily targets enemy infantry, mortar positions, various combat assets, approaching supply vehicles, and lightly armored vehicles, providing comprehensive protection. Ready to record.
538. Once you receive it, repeat it back.
Loaded, charged, ready.
Forward, fire.
Shot!
It looks like just a simple walk around a dugout, but in reality this is a camouflaged Ukrainian self-propelled artillery unit. In fact, this is exactly what every howitzer near the front line on the southern section of the front looks like now. Such thorough camouflage requires effort, the self-propelled artillery crew of the 128th admit. But the situation near the front line forces them to make that effort.
Everything is covered with nets, everything is camouflaged as much as possible.
Is this just a precaution, or is it truly a necessity here right now?
It is an absolute necessity, and thanks to this crucial element, we are able to survive and thrive.
And also thanks to the machine guns of our air defense comrades. Do you have to use it often?
When they're flying.
That weapon isn't of a very large caliber and doesn't have the range of the Gvozdika, but it's very helpful when the crew of the mountain assault vehicle is preparing to work inside the machine.
Loaded. 538, full and complete as expected. All systems are nominal.
Forward, fire.
Vaska, are you ready? Yes? Cannon.
This morning, shells from self-propelled guns of the 128th Mountain Assault Regiment flew in the direction of the steppe of Shcherbaki section. Since mid-May, this has been a frontline area where the Muscovites have been trying to attack the Ukrainian defense line almost every day. From the southern sector of the front, in Zaporizhzhia, Alexander Motony, Alexander Sheehan, and Vitaly Ovsyanikov. TSN 1+1 United News Marathon.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism, and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
They push forward like zombies. This is exactly the tactic the enemy has adopted on the hottest section of the front. Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad are hanging by a thread. Is the enemy really about to close the encirclement? Our side's mega response. An armored reconnaissance vehicle bursts onto the front line. The special missions carried out by Ukrainian defenders are impressive. The scouts broke right through to zero, straight into the Russian infantry. What happened next, we'll tell and show you in the story in just a moment.
On the Pokrovsk front, the enemy is carrying out relentless assaults. Myronohrad and Pokrovsk are the enemy's main targets. These cities are under constant shelling. They're hit with glide bombs and artillery, and swarms of FPV drones are launched at them. Among those holding back the enemy on the Pokrovsk front are the soldiers of the 11th Separate Assault Battalion, Kievska Rus, of the 59th Separate Assault Brigade of Unmanned Systems.
Biden, the second one.
Their combat reconnaissance vehicle drives right up to the infantry on the front line.
Anyone who's been there knows roughly where the dugout is already. He knows the road well.
The enemy in the Pokrovsk direction is mining logistics routes with drones, launching UAVs via fiber optics, and disguising their soldiers as civilians.
The guys from the infantry were saying, of course, that you shoot at him and he just keeps moving forward like a zombie. Even if his leg gets blown off, he still twitches, gives himself some kind of shot and tries to escape. And of course, they get bombarded with drone-dropped munitions. Our guys are doing a great job with these drones right now.
This crew has carried out numerous evacuation missions.
Delivering ammunition and also supplies. And evacuating people from, well, combat zones. They transport the wounded and the dead.
They rush to the infantry at maximum speed.
We have good speed.
How many kilometers is that?
It goes 700 kilometers per hour. We stay at the position for a minute, no more than a minute. In a minute, everything is loaded and unloaded, and then we head out. Because they start firing at us there.
Chorny says that even though he drives a Max Pro and BMPs, this reconnaissance combat vehicle is also worth appreciating.
You start it up. Gearbox, steering wheel.
So basically, is it easy to learn?
It's just like a powerful tractor, you could definitely say.
This cannon can be used against infantry, defensive structures, and also to destroy armored vehicles.
Here we just have a Grom cannon, a powerful weapon, 73 caliber, a truly impressive piece of artillery.
Among the crew's missions was one where they had to evacuate a Russian soldier captured by our infantry. Everything happened at night.
I run from the back of the vehicle over here, shouting, "Give me a beating, give me a beating!" No one responds. And someone had jumped into the hatch, just standing there. And it was night, you couldn't see anything. I thought it was one of ours, still crazy, so I said to him, "Give me a beating." So I lift him up, I'm here. I grabbed him by the scruff, threw him onto the BMP, hit the gas and drove home. Yeah, all sorts of things happened.
Baida says he'll never forget this mission. And what was it like riding like that with a Russian?
Like a frog, I was riding.
What do you mean?
Well, how? Like this. Damn, he sprawled out, spread himself out here, even threw one leg over. His leg was limp, he couldn't see anything anymore. He flung his leg back, he was screaming, "I'm telling you," like a frog. Sprawled out on the vehicle. I was holding him by his body armor.
Because the Russians are constantly attacking with FPV drones, the soldiers mostly move around in the gray zone, on the edge between light and darkness, and often right on the edge of what's possible. Chorny recounts how they drove an armored vehicle to the front line to the infantry when the enemy was just about 50 meters away.
We drove right into the hottest spots. The track got stuck for no reason at all. So the BMP was left there.
The crew managed to evacuate, but the vehicle had to be left until morning. The occupiers took advantage of the situation and planted a mine under the driver's seat.
Can you imagine driving around for 2 weeks with a mine under you? Well, it's fine. I'm alive.
The soldiers say they know that without them the infantry would have a hard time, so they're always ready to help. Reporting from Donetsk region, Marina Smola, Alexander Koretsky, My Ukraine, United News Marathon.